Moving to Germany, I thought the sauna would be a place of relaxation. It's actually pretty intense. I'm going to share a few of my observations and experiences. I've seen things in the German sauna my mind may never unsee, but I'll try and keep it clean. In Australia, we're pretty reserved when it comes to being naked in public, except when we're drunk. Then we strip all our clothes off and run down the main street. My first experience in a German sauna was a rude awakening. I was pretty naive, to say the least. I went into a sauna and there was an older couple in there. I sat down, had my shorts on. The older lady, she looks at me and she asks, "Sind Sie katholisch? Are you Catholic?" I thought she wanted to have a deep philosophical conversation. She just looked at my shorts with such fury that they nearly ran away by themselves. I knew what I had to do. I whipped the shorts off, sat back down, and she goes, "Das ist besser, ne?" I have to say she was right. From that moment, I never looked back. When I got a local gym membership with a wellness section, I started having saunas every day of the week. I'd sit in one of these timber boxes in 100-degree heat and imagine I was at home. I'd think of the beautiful white Australian sand between my toes. I'd imagine the ocean, and I'd feel less homesick until I'd hear the sound of somebody slapping their sweaty body and making strange noises. The other thing is, sometimes on the way to the gym, I'll sort of get yelled at on my bike. But then in the sauna, everyone insists on being polite. Maybe it's because we're all naked. It's a cultural custom to say hello when you enter the sauna and goodbye or tschüss when you leave. I just find this a tense situation because I'll be trying to meditate, but I feel all this pressure to say hello and goodbye, and I also don't want to disturb anyone in case they're trying to meditate. Also, like, if 5 or 6 people come in and out in a row, you're just spending your entire sauna experience saying hello, tschüss, and it's just not that relaxing. Another intense experience is when they come into the sauna and they do an Aufguss. I still don't know how to say it. Aufguss. I love an Aufguss. This is where a bloke comes in, or a woman. If it's a bloke, he normally looks like a Roman gladiator. He comes in and he does this kind of ritual, and it feels pretty cool because it's almost like a traditional ritualistic kind of thing, where he pours scented stuff on the coals. As he fans the hot air around the room, he insists on locking eyes with you. So you've got this intense heat and you're having a staring contest with this dude, and it's getting hotter. But I know that if I'm the first person to leave, there's great shame in leaving first. I had a mate visit from Australia, and I gave him a pep talk before we went in the sauna. And I said, listen, they're going to do an Aufguss, and if it gets too hot, there's no shame in leaving first. 1 minute in, I was out of there. If I could share my ultimate Aufguss moment, it wasn't one of my finest moments here in Germany, perhaps this is a way to work through it. I was at a wellness retreat. I was in the sauna. There was like 30 people in there. It's the most people I've ever sat with naked. Aufguss dude comes in, looks like a Roman gladiator. He starts pouring the scented stuff on the stones, and he's carrying this like tiered thing with all these little bowls of sugar, and he starts handing out these bowls of sugar. I thought, this must be to keep the blood sugar levels up. So I take this bowl, I dip my finger in, and I start eating it. An older lady next to me, she looks at me and she starts laughing, and I'm like, why is she laughing? Nobody else is eating the sugar. Before I know it, 30 people are rubbing their sweaty bodies with sugar. It was like we were all human donuts. Just when I thought my sauna experiences couldn't get any more unique, I went into another sauna where one of the walls was a cinema screen. It had like a glass protective covering or something. I thought that's a pretty unique idea. You can sit in the sauna and watch a movie. But they insisted on showing a documentary on global warming. Sitting there in 100 degrees, can't breathe, trying to just withstand the intense heat. And I'm watching glaciers melt. And I start thinking about the end of the world. I went in there to relax. I came out thinking we're absolutely doomed. The sauna hasn't always been intense. I've had some relaxing times as well. One Christmas here, my fiance and I decided to spend it in a hotel with her parents. I thought it was a brilliant idea because I find Christmas is a bit tough, being away from family, the kind of materialistic mayhem of it. So it was awesome just to get out of Hamburg and go to this hotel. And we literally spent Christmas Day by the pool and having a sauna with her parents. Soon after, I went home to Australia for a visit, and I was in a pub with my mates. We were standing in a circle with our beers, and one of them was like, "What did you do for Christmas?" And I was like, "I spent it naked with my girlfriend's parents." My mate looked at me and he was like, "Mate, we got to get you the fuck out of Germany." Despite having so many saunas in winter, I depleted my body of vital minerals. Often I come up with creative ideas in the sauna. I just like note them down afterwards. I even made a friend in the sauna. That's a little hard to explain to some of my mates, but it's tricky to make friends in Germany, especially as a 40-year-old. But my friend wanted to have a deep philosophical conversation, and we've been friends ever since.